My entrepreneurial journey has not been the conventional one, but the process has been quite the same. I'm a social entrepreneur and I invest in people. I've always wanted to start my own drug rehabilitation center. And I've told a lot of people, but no one took it seriously. But each and every day I'm driving around Durban, I'll see the same guys asking for the 2 rand, and each and every day for a couple of months, and they were young people, my age. Some of them I actually went to university with, and it touched me. I wanted to do something. I started doing my research. What drugs are the guys doing? What gets them into drugs? Why are they doing drugs? And I did quite a lot of research. Each and every day I would find something new. I'd be so surprised. I even, at one time, I took one of the guys and we had lunch. I just wanted to find out how he got into drugs. And did he want to stop? What type of help did he want? I went to drug rehabilitation centers. I remember going to Newlands and just finding out how a drug rehabilitation is run. For me, I wanted to understand, are we doing the right thing to solve the drugs? What's really the core problem of the drugs? And I found out that we needed to find something to replace the drug in the guys. And that one thing was purpose. They were young, they were fresh, they had the ideas, they had the passion. But what was missing? The missing was purpose. They didn't know where to go. And I wanted to focus on each and every person's passion and purpose. I went to the Newlands Park Center, a state-owned rehabilitation. And I presented a program under the Skwe One banner, a social enterprise that I had started. Under the banner, it had 3 sections: business classes and job readiness, skills development, and an integration program. I think for me, what was quite important was that we needed to find a way to reinvest in these guys, to give them an opportunity to restart, to rebuild themselves, and an opportunity to get to pick who they wanted to become. And so for me, it was very important that I needed to understand where were they going and what they wanted to do. We need to know where they were going. And the biggest challenge was not finishing the rehabilitation program. The biggest problem was the high relapse rate. Within 2 weeks, most of the guys were relapsing, and it didn't make sense because they had just finished an 8-week or 3 months program. And for us, the integration part we knew was going to be the most important and was going to be the hardest. The communities that we come from treat them like animals, and they take them as animals because of the drug situation, and they don't understand the core problem. So we need to educate the communities, firstly, how to support the guys. Through our motivational talks at schools, through our speaking in community events, the guys had an opportunity to build themselves, to build their confidence, but also at the same time to educate the same community that wants to kill them. We also wanted to get the community involved with a system we call the DOT system. Members of the community would volunteer and go to the rehab, guys and find out how they're doing. Are they still going to work? How's the business going? And are they going to church? Are they still playing the activities? For us, that was important. The same community that wants to hurt them should really invest back in the same guys. It was important also when they were starting the businesses for us to really help them get it off the ground. Through getting young guys from university, studying accounting, studying marketing, to help their businesses so they won't struggle and the business fails. So that type of assistance and business development was also important outside. The integration program really seeks to go beyond just helping the individuals, but it was also for them to help other people that were in drugs, but they couldn't really get the opportunities to go to rehab. So it was really, I'd say, the duty of the guys that have been through the journey, they understand the difficulty of being in drugs, to really kind of sharpen other guys and to give them information and create value. We're not there yet. Yeah. We understand this is a journey, but the vision is very clear. The vision is to start here in Durban, but to have our centers and facilities all over the country and all over Africa, developing people, young people. And once you start, for me, what I found out was that you get help along the way. I got help through a friend who was doing, I think his research topic was how to reduce the number of relapses and from drug addicts. He's doing community development. And for me, when he came in as a partner, I think it was very important because he understood how to really do integration. I got help also from the likes of Itala, won the Inkunze Sematoleni, a competition which for me was very key. I didn't have the resources. It was tough just getting to work. I couldn't do the welding. I didn't have the equipment. And for me, the first company invested in me. They believed in it. And I went on to win other competitions with LifeCo. Got selected to be part of the local economic development and I became a champion in 2015. For me, the passion was growing. There were people out there, after just presenting or telling them about what I was doing, invested in me. So I started to get people to believing in me. I used to get young people that would inbox me that, my brother is in drugs. How can I help him? I also want to start this. How can I come along? And so I knew that I was moving in the right direction. As young people, I think it's important to follow your heart. Follow your heart. A lot of people would discourage you. I got discouraged quite a lot. The easy option was just to go and find work. But this thing kept coming back. It kept coming back. So you need to follow your heart. You need to invest in yourself, but you need to start. We attend a lot of seminars. We have the business plans. We have the proposals. The spreadsheets are making over $1 million in the first year. But we never test it out. We go to the seminars, we listen, we get motivated, and we go back home and we sleep. No one is actually doing the research and starting something. If they fail, you've got to listen. If you fail, you're growing because you understand what works and what doesn't work. And that's what a lot of people I found they're not doing. It's beautiful on paper. They're Instagram entrepreneurs. They're posting the pictures. They're wearing the suits. They're posting Mark Zuckerberg and Warren Buffett quotes, and they take pictures of the book, but they never start. And it's in the art of the start. You need to start because that's when you learn a lot about yourself. I didn't know my strengths. I didn't know that I could stand in front of people. I didn't know I could understand a person's challenges and actually help him out. And I learned so much at the rehab. I learned from young people. I learned the art of hustling from the guys without them showing me. I learned the art of perseverance and the art of really thinking of who you want to become and becoming that person. Because every person that I talk to and I work with is a person that wants to reinvent themselves. It's a person that only he sees himself and he wants to invest in himself. And so, for me, that stands out. It motivates me each and every day. It's what keeps me going. I think it sets me apart. And I understand this is actually where I am supposed to be. This is my role. My role is really to help develop young people. But I need to develop them and move them out of drugs. And I need to help them find their passion. And we need more people to invest in us as young people.